Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Most Excellent Entertainment. I am your host Keith, and with me this week, oh man, it's hard for me to even get this introduction going because I've been a fan of this artist for over 30 years. One of the I don't know, for me, just a really important singer-songwriter, musician. Um, and yeah, somebody who's meant a lot to me musically for a really long time. Joining me this week is Mr. Jeffrey Gaines.
Hello.
Hey,
What's happening, man?
I'm
Hey,
good.
let me tell you, nobody told me on my end that you were going to feel this way. I'm telling you, I'm just
Oh,
picking up the phone thinking I'm just doing an interview, man. Who knew I was talking to a fan?
oh man, yeah. No, so
No idea. Well,
yeah,
then, hey, welcome aboard. What
thank
the
you,
hell, man?
man. Yeah, so
Yeah.
no, man. So a few years, well, when I was around 18, I'm 52 almost.
Yeah.
Uh, I was watching JBTV in the middle of the night,
Chicago.
and
Yeah.
they were doing a contest.
Yeah.
Whoever won the contest got to have you come to their house and play music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did that.
yeah,
That's right.
yep. And then
What is about that?
well, I remember they played "Hero and Me," and it was a fantastic song.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. And then I
Hilarious.
went out and bought the cassette, dude. Like
Yeah.
as soon as I saw the video, and then right in between the first album and the second album, you played a show at the State Theater in Ithaca, New York, which was my hometown. And it was kind of a snowstorm that night, and I rode my bike,
What?
yeah, down to the State Theater. I
Yeah.
literally found out about it because I had been out of town. I came home, found out about it that day, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I have to go." So I rode my bicycle down to the State Theater and saw you play that night. We talked a little bit after the show because you were very accommodating, dude. You hung out after with us and talked to people, and it was
Yeah.
just you and your guitar uh on the stage, and it was so fun, it was so intimate, and man, I've got everything that you've ever put out. and and yeah, it was a good time, and
Yeah.
I'm really
Like
happy to
it.
be talking to you, man. So this is
No, I
cool.
totally dig it.
Yeah, so this is really cool. um
Wow. Dude.
it's
Good
been
memories.
it's been so long. Yeah, yeah, dude. um and I remember, so like I was really into a lot of different kind of music, you know. So I showed up down there in my leather jacket and like I was sitting in the crowd, and your crowd was so diverse. There was so many different people, but I got a seat right in the front, and yeah, it was a great time. And your music, like I said, has meant a lot to me. I was kind of a musician when I was younger, and I used to cover "Hero and Me." It's such a great song.
Right.
So yeah, and here we are talking now. So this is really cool.
Yeah, it's way cool, man.
Yeah,
Good memories.
for
Good
sure.
memories. And the thing is, I just whatever all the stuff you recall there
Yeah,
are exactly the same characteristics that I mean, that was it. I couldn't do anything else but be me.
yeah,
You couldn't be. We were all very enthusiastic and open to hang and meet each other, and that's my vibe throughout my life with this music thing. So, it's so I'm the same.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, I'm the same, and I take it each day the exact same way. And so there's less people riding their bike in the snowstorms.
Right.
I mean, there's like that. That's like some super fan stuff,
Yeah,
man. And
yeah,
like, that kind of music enthusiasm, like that kind of like, man, I gotta go do it. That urgency and awesome impulse, the impulse driven from people reacting from hearing music and hearing that thing affect them and reacting.
yeah.
Like, not even worried about like thinking it through or asking 12 friends what they think first. Just
No,
going on like, dude, I get this feeling. I got a feeling in my gut, and I'm going there. I'm going to that show.
yep.
That's kind of like, you guys are really, people like you are the folks that, we're missing more in the music scene,
Yeah,
because us folks doing it, clearly, we're still out there going like every night. We're offering that up.
Yeah.
When you have a show promotion going and like so and so's playing here, I think that each band is still considering it the exact same day.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all 15. It's all 15. To us, like it's like when you pick up a guitar because some music inspired you to even go ahead and take it to undertake this thing. Like something about that sparked it in us to go ahead and do it ourselves. And then when you can get that reaction out of other people and like light that fire, light that fuse, and have that just continue, man. That's what you're looking for every time you go out and play.
Yeah.
So when I'm like, oh, you describe it like it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for all of rock and all of music that it's an exceptional kind of like story. People talk about, you know, me hanging out after and meeting everybody is like some exceptional, weird, awesome, weird thing that doesn't happen often. Everybody should do that. We should all come and greet anyone who's enthusiastic about what we're doing.
Yeah.
We should give, because it's such a short night. Like, it's such a short night. If I play too long on stage, if I do a 2.5 hour show, it's too short a time period to share with the folks. So, like, after it's over and we hang some more, I'm the last one to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Legitimately.
I gotta tear down. I gotta wait for the promoter and everybody to get their stuff together. You gotta get paid at the end. All that stuff. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah.
So for like to go cloister off and hide away from the people who were there. When you buy a ticket and you show me, that's they're making the first step. They show me their feelings about it, and I wouldn't cloister off and hide away from the people who are supporting the thing. That it's like we collectively love it for a period of time each time I come to town, and that's pretty awesome, pretty rare, and I want to be all up in it.
Yeah, for sure, man. And yeah, honestly, like I still go to shows, but
Yeah.
during the 90s when I was really hitting shows at theaters and clubs and stuff like that,
Mhm.
everybody hung out. I mean, I hung out with Shannon Hoon. I had a
Oh yeah.
beer with him when I was 18 and
Wow.
yeah, and a lot of
miss him.
a lot of the guys like in the bands were really enthusiastic about the fans being there,
Exactly.
and it was a lot of fun. It was a good scene, and it was especially like in a college town like Ithaca, you got enthusiastic crowds and people just into the music, so it was cool.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. So you talked about like music inspiring you and getting out there with the guitar and playing and stuff. What are some of the bands and musicians who inspired you to become a musician?
Hmm. I guess going it solo, I saw Billy Bragg opening up for Echo and the Bunnymen.
Nice.
Billy Bragg kind of opening up for Echo and the Bunnymen. So like he was starting out, and it was just like, the way that started out, just a solo guy at the Tower Theater.
Yeah.
I was like, you can be as powerful as a band,
Right.
So I mean, I play solo acoustic, and I guess that in a sense sort of has driven me into the folk sort of genre, but like it's more urgent than that, because I mean I'm coming from, it was like it's such a different energy that I'm carrying because of my influences are more like more English, like sort of maybe punk bands or something like that. So it's weird to be like on solo acoustic, but then seeing Billy Bragg make that configuration between impactful, direct, punching, and hard, and like tough, cool lyrics and stuff. I mean, that was like first of all why I started playing solo was like because just like couldn't I get a band together? I was moving around a lot, so like you move to a whole new town, you could wait to get a situation going, or you could just start taking the gigs that are offered to you.
Right.
And I think that's what it was before I got a band together. When I moved to Philadelphia, like I moved from my hometown Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, to Philadelphia to kind of be with my girlfriend who was going to art school.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a musical thing. It was just like it just seemed like she was going to art school and we wanted to hang out and be together. We tried living together, so
Right.
I don't know, cool little place on South Street in Philly, and and before I had time to, get a group together, I was getting these offers at, this cool little place, JC Dobbs and whatever, just to come open up for people. And it was like, okay. So, you start doing, and then it was just like solo configuration sort of kind of landed me with people who were like more singer-songwriters. So, you're opening up for Sarah McLachlan or whatever. And you're like, you're probably doing that because they're like, we want to solo on and off. Like somebody just come on, do this thing. I got Sean Colvin also, she was coming out. Nice. And it's like, so these packages just started like to formulate. And then the format kind of followed around who I often was playing with or in front of. And it was like, so I was like, I'm doing all these people who would end up on like Lilith or whatever, So it just turns out like the Jeffrey Gaines, as the society around started seeing it, it's like, you'll open up for Melissa Etheridge and Tracy Chapman, and like that's your scene, I suppose. But like, I remember in the '90s, early '90s, I had so many metalheads heard me. Yeah. And like you just kind of put the message in the bottle, and you never know who's going to respond. Meaning, like, you make a record and it just goes out, and people respond to just that music. They don't know me at all. Yeah. But like there's something in the music that I have a lot of guys, guys from like, metal bands, like, and they're like, dude, we dig it. And I'm like, but it's the most mellow debut ever. Like, I wish, we ran out of time and money, or I would have, it was like, when I was making my debut record, it was like, I was working with Richard Gottera, and he's got a Rolodex on everybody. Yeah. And nearing the end of it, I was like, man, we never got around to real, electric guitar and solos. And he's like, do you want me to call Mick Ronson? And I'm like, I do, but I can tell what's going to happen. If you bring Mick Ronson in this room, I'm going to do a Bowie record. Right. It's like, don't do it, because like once I hear him, it's going to just adjust. It's going to fool with my inflection. And the next thing you know, I will really lean heavily into this Bowie influence that I'm actually trying to shake while I'm making my debut record. It's very hard for me to shake that. And if you brought him in here, boy, it might as well just be a tribute band. So don't bring Mick Ronson. Just ship it. Let me just cross my fingers and hope for the best. Yeah. Yeah. But even without like the electric guitar, there was a lot of guys that were like from electric guitar bands that were digging it. Then the show started going kind of rock, and and I was like, wow. I'm just available. Being solo, you just end up being available to go play with anybody. Yeah. Like the diverse audience you spoke of was also the diverse opportunities, like they're wide ranging. Who the hell I can go in front of and have that make some sense somehow, Yeah. It's been wild. It's been really wild.
I think what connected with me dude, I listened to everything, but my main focus on music was definitely metal and hard rock, especially back then. It was the rawness, the emotion in your lyrics and your inflections, and I just feel like you really sure, it was folk rock if you want to put a label on it, but it connected in a different way to me. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. But
I feel you.
Your lyrics have always they've always felt big and personal at the same time. And
I like it.
I think that's something that's hard to do,
Yeah, I totally dig it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, man. I think Love Disappears is a lost metal ballad.
Sure. Yeah.
Just didn't come out. We missed the '80s.
Yeah.
By the time I got it together, but man, that would have been good.
I believe in you. Could have. The way you like really rock hard at the end of it. Like that could have been a big, power ballad for sure.
Yeah, sure. I'm shooting for the fence. I'm swinging for the fences every time. That's another kind of weird. That's been a thing I'm maybe even battling with. As like the swinging for the fences every time I sing anything, or every time I write everything. And when at my live show, sometimes I hate to say it, man, but it's these things are true. But people go through changes of life. Mm. Like you said, a lot of this stuff is like we're talking about if you're talking about the first record, it's like 34 years ago.
Yeah.
March.
Yeah.
Right. So I got a lot of people who don't want, like, I mean, you know, you got folks come out and like rock and roll's keeping us young,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like surging through our veins, but a lot of people aren't living this every day. So they're like, they come out and they want to like, you know, they're like wondering why I'm so excited. Like, I love it, but I want to sit here comfortably. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm with the, you know, get your hands together, clap your hands, stomp your feet. They're like, really?
Yeah.
Like, I like it, but I'm like maybe liking it a little differently than I used to.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. People want to.
Yeah, and then so like with me, I'm thinking about like compositionally, like, you know, every time you're on stage, for me, I'm feeling like the push of being on stage.
Right.
And I wonder, you know, I still don't have any songs really that I play that are just to be mellow.
Yeah.
Like somebody just laid this record, like this is weird because this music has been available and I just never really sat around listening to it. But, you know, a lot of colleagues and people, they speak highly of like Leonard Cohen, and I just have never really sat down with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just, you know, now we got all these ways to play music,
Right? Yeah.
Clicking your fingers and everything.
Yeah.
So it didn't cost me nothing to, you know, get on somebody else's Amazon Music
Right.
program.
Check them out. Yeah.
Play anything you want anytime, just like going to the library, you know, just play on stuff. And I was like, man, how could you, like, I was like, I was just playing this 1967 record. Like, I think it's just the debut. And you're like, I would get so scared. Like, I love it now. Like, it just takes a while and you have to play it. And, you know, once you get into that wavelength, you're like, man, I want to sort of write some things where we just go up there and, like, we'll, you know, that's the hard thing. Could you draw people in being, like, so sparse?
Yeah.
Like, so sparse. Like, I'm thinking, like, wow, that'd be an interesting new thing. Instead of trying to make these, you know, singing so large and dreaming so big with these aspirations of mine, you know, all my aspirations are like, you know, I mean, you know, and I've been to the mountain and back again.
Right, sure.
The way I'm writing it, so like everything should be a swirling, fantastical chorus, and you know, like, what if it's like, well, you know, just do something more subtle? Like, I mean, so these are things, you know, you just rubbing your chin, wonder what you're gonna write, how you're gonna write next. So much to consider as you know, your listenership matures.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, I could write a song about, you know, that feeling, that butterfliesy feeling of summer and falling in love. But like, people, we're done with that. Like, we're not doing that unless you got like new 16-year-olds coming in and being in your audience.
Yeah.
You know, like a song about kissing.
Right. We've all kind of already been kissing.
So it's like, yeah, it's like very interesting. Like, I imagine Paul Stanley knows what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like 15, 16 starting to perv out, bro.
For sure. Well,
Like,
I mean,
kind of getting pervy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that. Like, I don't think it is. I know what you mean, but like the society at large is obsession with it, you know, Epstein Island and what's going on. Maybe some of that stuff, you know, it's like, so you just go, how can you still be speaking to the society at large and, you know, striking a chord with the changing times when, you know, your impetus for getting into this is like all summer love, rock and roll, like, you know, grow your hair, be free, rock and roll, come on, you know, let's just go. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, hang on a second.
Yeah.
You know, like people are a little more restricted and constricted, you know. It's just an odd and interesting time. Now, what you hope is that they can put all that stuff, leave all that stuff at the door and come in.
Enjoy the show.
Forget about all that. Yeah, right. It's like an opportunity to forget about all that.
Yeah. I know, like, you know, Winger obviously still has to play 17, but they changed the lyrics now to she's only 35. Which is,
that's fun.
Yeah, I've heard him play it live. Yeah, she's only 35, man. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I like it.
Yeah, you got to adjust, I guess. You know.
Right.
Yeah. But I know. So when the second album came out, right, I saw you on a late night show. I think it was like Conan O'Brien, maybe.
Yes, it was.
playing "I Like You,"
Yeah,
and
fantastic.
yeah, and I mean, it honestly, like the guitar and stuff, it kind of reminded me of Cracker. Like you had a full band. You were obviously doing something a little more rocking, a little more different on that album.
Yeah,
Um,
appreciate that.
yeah, yeah,
The
of course.
Cracker, that's a good. That's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah, that song totally sounds, very David Lowery-ish, I think
that's
anyway. I
great.
always have.
I
So
don't mind that one. I don't mind hearing that. That's good.
right on.
Should have toured together. It would have been
Oh,
great.
that would have been awesome. Yeah, I would have been there for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So, what kind of influenced that new direction, if you will?
Yeah, the new direction. I mean, it's an interesting way of looking at it because it's just personnel, really. It's just like it's a matter of like personnel change. Basically, what I did also, what's cool is that's my bass player from my first high school band.
Oh, awesome.
So I called up my buddy Mike Giblin. He's in a group called Split Squad right now.
Okay.
He used to play, with Clem Burke and all that stuff. And a bunch of guys from different groups.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we played in high school together. And so when we were, when we were 18 and stuff like 17, 18, we were playing more in the style of the second record.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more like when I called up him and, so we're jamming together. Well, we jammed together in the way we did.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It's more like personnel. Like if I attempted recording the second record with a bunch of music recording heavies, and it went too slick.
Yeah.
What's funny, looking back now, is I rejected what would go on to be the John Mayer Trio.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, it's not John Mayer, of course.
But that sound. Yeah.
The duo.
Oh, okay.
I had Steve Jordan and Pino Palladino.
Oh my God. Okay.
So the second record was recorded with Steve Jordan playing drums and Pino Palladino playing bass.
Okay.
And a bunch of other guys, and it was going to be produced by Laurie Latham, the guy that did Every Time You Go Away.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
What's that guy's name? The ballad.
You can. Who is that guy?
Oh, well, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll catch it at some point.
Steve Bowles play guitar for him. It's like wonderful, R&B English cat. But But Laurie Latham sort of was leaning very heavily into my ability to soul sing, and the fact that I could kind of go that route.
Right.
And the record was getting really refined and really slick, and it sounded like it was going to be a Seal record.
Oh wow!
And I was like, that was great. The label was very happy with me. Into like a new high dollar tax bracket.
Right.
Here, like, wow, fretless bass, and like, oh man, all these sophisticated players around his music. Boy, here we go. And I just thought it was almost too slick and too adult. It was like, man, these guys are too good.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody can really understand it because it's a fantastic gift and opportunity to be handed the world's best session players.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Session players. That means the record company believes
in you. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. To the point of like, we're going to pay for these triple scale guys to fly them in from all points of the world to be on your second record, on your next album.
Yeah.
And we were working and it was going fine, but I mean, the whole time I was like pulling back, and I was like, look, it's too refined sounding. I just don't want to, because I also knew I wouldn't be able to retain these people and keep them
right.
Like when I go out playing live, I know when I go tour, it's just going to be me and a guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all this beautiful, lush instrumentation, you guys aren't going to, I don't know. I'd rather sound like myself.
Sure.
So in a weird, hardcore backlash to stepping into the cloaked, robed glory that they had designed for me, I just think I'm just a little more boots on the ground, kind of meat and potatoes, I want to sound like a guy that I know at the end of the day. And so I called my bass my buddy and said, "Look, we got an opportunity to save my next record."
Yeah.
So in a sense, a lot of people did not like that it sounded so just like some guys you know.
Oh man, I loved it.
And I'm like, I love that it was like we took it back. I felt like, well, we're taking it back, and I can put my name on that.
Yeah.
I didn't know who the next guy. I didn't know who they were going to make me, but I don't know if I had the outfit. I don't know if I had the wardrobe for the next guy they were going to make me.
Right.
He was gonna that dude was gonna be maybe a little too famous for even me to enjoy.
Yeah.
So we didn't do it. I'm probably the last person with a demo of that. We'll see if I ever let anyone hear it, but it's like if you take a simple song like "You Believe in Me"
Yeah.
and just turn it into like a layered orchestral. It sounds like
man.
like ABC. You remember that group?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
It's just like so many layers of awesomeness. What the hell's that got to do? It's a simple sentiment.
Right.
I'm just talking to one person.
Right.
And so it's very hard to I think it's like, I remember in the 90s, 1990, I listened very hard and critically and all the time to this group, The Law's debut.
Okay. Oh, sure. Sure. There she goes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
okay.
debut.
Yeah.
And I remember I love that record and I love that band. And I remember how just them making that band kind of broke them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just dissolved because they fought so hard with so many producers. There were so many producers that attempted making that record.
Right.
And they knew exactly what they wanted it to sound like, and everybody had an interpretation of what it should sound or could sound like.
Yeah.
And they would just get into these disputes, and they were working so hard to just strip it down. And they, by the time they fought so hard to have it sound like they wanted it to sound,
right,
it was very there's not a cymbal crash on that record.
No, it's very lush.
It's just what they wanted it to sound like, but the fight sometimes is so hard to get it.
Right.
That I just thought of them, and I was like, man, it's about the intention.
Yeah.
They're like, what's the dispute really? It's just like what the intention is. So sometimes somebody can hear you and know they want to help you, but they're helping some other ambition. They don't know what our ambition ultimately is.
Right.
So a lot of times, when the Somewhat Slightly Dazed second record band would go out and play, and we would just be, just some dirty boys getting out of a van, setting up amps on stage and playing. There were a lot of people who were disappointed because they don't know what our intention was. We weren't trying to come out and be, it was like what our intent was just to set up and play.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people who were waiting for this magnificent thing to unfurl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't say that. We want to be a rock band. We want to be a band.
Yeah.
With no pyrotechnic. We want to just be drums on the ground and, and clown around and have a good time with our lives. And in this moment, everybody's, before we're 30.
Yeah.
We're still in our 20s. Hang on a second. That's what it was. It's I'm still in my 20s. I want to have a ball.
Right.
Also, with this opportunity, I don't want to be carrying. It's not for me to be carrying the weight of the world, and be all this drama.
Yeah.
All this drama. Hang out. Let's just have some fun. So,
right.
A lot of times you just want to, try to think of the long game and the picture, and what's your objective? And a lot of that for me was to a promise that I made in my buddy's garage when we were learning how to make music and play music. I was just like, let's just do this one. We set out to do this, and this is an opportunity to look at us. Say hi to your mom, man. We're on TV. You know what I mean? It's just wave to the camera. This is crazy considering, when we started this out and just sweating it out. You close a garage in some suburban little house on a street in the middle of August. You're in there, you're sweating it out to try to learn how to do this. And I was more just paying tribute to remember when we wanted to do this? Every night I'd look over and be like, effing doing this.
That's awesome, man.
You know, you're playing some college gymnasium. Even if it's just that college gymnasium, and you're just playing out to like, you know, people's feet, like the mosh pit, like
Right.
floating feet in your face, like
Right.
just, hey, if these guys have turned this whole gymnasium floor into their college party and we're the band, this is all pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, like this is all pretty good. I mean, sure, there's a big time out there,
Right.
and you know, and let that come if it comes. But each night we're having a success of, you know, we were thrilled, they were thrilled, moving on. Everybody, you know, taking flights, flying around. I brought everybody home safe.
Yeah.
Just go. That was a win. I'll take it.
That's
Everybody, nobody, yeah. Like he was married at the time. Didn't cause a divorce. Didn't kill him, we didn't go down in a plane crash, man. Like rock on and live life. You know, live long and prosper. I ticked that off the box, and then I went back to being solo. So
right.
94 was the only band that I ever had, and that'll do. That'll do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go through every single album, but I do want to talk.
I feel you.
I do want to talk about Galore though, because so I picked that up as soon as it came out. I had it on like special reserve at a store in College Town. I went up and got it, and it was 2 discs.
Oh, good for you! You got the bonus disc.
Yeah, and there was more Galore in there, and man, that Riot Act cover, so good, man. I was like, wow, dude, he is rocking. He's getting it on this.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. I listened to it on my Walkman on the way home, and I really I think Toaster Tea could have been a single. I've always loved that song. I love the melody. And I just want to tell you I love that record, man. That's really why I brought it up. I love that record. I love the covers. They've kind of been lost in the digital age, but I think it's cool that I got the 2 disc, and I got to hear them. You know, so and
no, that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it was nice. Little first pressing thing we did that with, and a little bit of distinction with that one. That was great. Record disc was very cool because you know, they did their own manufacturing. You know, so we could sort of shape that record any way you wanted. And that was a cool, great time. Good label. You know, very cool boutique label to work with.
Right.
And you know, it's great. Good times. And yeah, that is like when I'm making these records. You know, it's like I just don't. It's like to me, I just don't. I think that Galore record, I was like, there's so many songs on there. It just keeps keeps turning over. Like there's more after you think it's done. Oh God, then there's another one. Like what? There's a lot of songs on there, you know.
Yeah.
And I really like that, man. I had the that was good times, man.
Yeah,
it's really cool one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was kind of a '90s thing too, though. Lots of songs, you know.
Right.
people were trying to fit everything they could
within that
on a compact disc, you know. Like that's kind of and then you had a whole second disc in there for the people who were lucky enough to get it, so that was cool.
It was very nice. Yeah.
One thing that I did want to say, backing up just a little bit, I liked Somewhat Slightly Dazed so much that I bought a copy for my mom for Easter, which Easter's coming up. I think it was Easter. So yeah, I picked up a copy for my mom, and I think she still has it. So she's almost 80. So
all right.
Yeah. But yeah, so after Galore, well, I guess kind of starting with Galore, you sort of hopped around to different labels. Was it just like trying to find labels that would support you and what you were trying to put out at the time, or why did that kind of happen?
Oh, that happens because that's out of my hands.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been, you know, like Bob Dylan or something. Just get on Columbia and stay on Columbia. You know, just stay somewhere forever. But you know, these things change. I mean, you'd have like a president of a label for a while, and he's got a great relationship, and he's, you know, the guy that picked you or signed you, and then their own stuff, internal stuff that they're having as a company. Then all the staff that you knew might change, and the whole new president of the label might change, and that it still has the name,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It'll still say Chrysalis Records or something like that, but then
Okay.
like before your album comes out, the guy that loved you the most and signed you, he's like, pull you in the office and says, man, good luck.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I won't be working here when this album comes out. I wish you all the best. I love everything you do. Or you wouldn't even be here. I signed you, but I mean, I've been replaced by the new guy. And my fingers are crossed that the new person likes you as much as I do.
Yeah.
And sometimes when that happens, the new person coming in, just in terms of like whatever the last people were doing, we just want to do the opposite to put our signature flavor on it.
Right.
So sometimes the next person coming in will be like, well, before I even listen to it, I know I'm getting rid of everything that the past people did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to let them know that it's a new company now and it's a new regime, and I'm bringing in all my guys.
Yeah.
So sometimes like that, you really don't have a whole lot of choice. I'm not making the choices of what label I'm on.
Yeah.
So if you're on one for a while and then then your next record comes out on another one, that's just some stuff that is out of my hands. It's like a shakedown at the label that changes it. In some cases, the label will close.
Right.
You know,
Right.
sometimes the thing like we're done doing it. So, you know, in terms of like, yeah, there's not many. So you just be like, well, then you go out and luckily you still have and a guy like me. I live for the live show anyway.
Sure.
My fingers like just, and the records are like, oh, that's cool when that gets to happen. So you just go with like, well, don't have a deal with anybody for, you know, a year or something, or a year, you know, years can go by.
Yeah.
And I'm not really pounding the pavement about that. But of course, yeah, sure, management is, you know, and like submitting you on things and, you know, sneakily sending out your private little demos and stuff like that. And they get some heat and they get something going. And, you know, then somebody presents me, here's a situation. Are you down? Are you up for it? Are you into it? And I'm like, usually, hell yeah, I'm into it.
Right.
So
Sure.
then you're like, wow, boom. So next thing you know, you find out you're with, you know,
Artemis.
you go from Ryko to Artemis, you go to Artemis, you know, to, you know, Omnivore. It's just like, I'll go everywhere and anybody wants to party.
Nice. Nice.
Anybody wants to party. It's like, yo, because I mean, I mean, the only thing with a guy like me is, you know, I'm not going to, yeah, it's just, I don't know if I'd really put them out. Like nowadays, everybody's like a DIY kind of guy. And I'm like, I just feel that if it came down to just me saying, you need to hear this, it's not in my personality profile.
Right.
It's just absolutely not in my personality profile to be in my room, sitting at a guitar or piano and coming up with a song and then insisting that the world need to hear it. It's just like, I don't mind I guess it's like a self-contentment that I have.
Okay.
Like I've got such a level of self-contentment that even at my debut record, that kind of stuff happens because somebody says you should put a record out.
Okay.
And I'm like, that sounds cool to me too. Yeah, cool. And they have to be like, so it's somebody else's urgency. You know, I'm the guy who's like, does anybody know the answer to this question? And I'll just sit there until my friend nudges. He does.
Right on it.
Like, come on, man, speak up. I'm like, why didn't you raise your hand? I'm like, well, because I didn't need anybody else to know that I knew that.
Right. Right on.
I don't need anybody else to know that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I know it, but I mean, there's like, I think it's almost like, it's so weird, but like, when you're an artist, like a visual artist,
right,
and you make a painting, like, there's a satisfaction in that you've completed that painting.
Right.
Now, when you have a show, when you have a gallery and a show, that's some sort of, that to me at that point becomes like an ego thing.
Yeah. It's kind
like
of validation, I guess, but.
So having a show of your paintings, what's that for? What aspect is that for?
Right.
That's for like, so I'm like, would I erect a show and go, and now I'm petitioning to people on the street to come in. You must see this.
Right. Right.
You must see my still lifes.
Yeah.
Do you? Like, so if you get approached by a gallery and say, we love your work and we'd love to hang it, I'm like, well, you can always have it and
Yeah.
you can go ahead and hang it. And you can go ahead and, you know what I mean? So it's that's how I look at music making. It's like I wrote a song, but I'm sure everybody writes a song and everyone's written one.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, and again, I think that all the time. I think when guys get together, even if they become the Rolling Stones,
Yeah.
even if they become the Rolling Stones, I remember the story always being told of, you guys stand behind me. We're going to go in the office and I'm going to procure you a deal. You guys just stand there with your mouth shut.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going to turn you guys into a thing.
Right.
This got something, and I can tell, and I'll be your voice box. Let me speak for you. Just stand behind me with your shades on and shut up. And I'm gonna get you the best record deal ever. Like I'm just like, yeah. But for me to also be the architect of it, everybody's got somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's got somebody to kind of drive it through, or else I don't know. Luckily, John Lennon had Paul McCartney.
Sure.
Because I think John would have just been great, being great, and
just playing music and
he would never have taken it to town.
Right.
But you need that other guy to be like, we should fucking turn this into something.
Right.
And it's like I don't have, like, that doesn't mean just because you can do it, you also have these other characteristics in your personality.
Right.
So I'm not my best salesman at all,
Nice.
if ever.
Yeah.
But hopefully, what you're doing inspires the person who does that really well.
Sure.
I've never read a contract, but hopefully you get a lawyer who's like, I love reading fucking contracts.
Yeah, that's the best. Reading contracts is the best.
Oh yeah, like they're digging their job, I'm digging my job, and but when my job, like nowadays, musicians have to be all of the jobs.
Yeah,
and that's got to be. I mean, that's something. I might not go into it. I might not. If I'm thinking like people now, if you are 12 years old and you think about what it is to be a musician, that's a different thing. That's a whole different thing. I don't know. Like having, going song by song on Spotify.
You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure.
And like people promote when people are promoting one song being released, and they're like hitting you for 6 months out on like snippets of one song.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Like they're just hitting you with a snippet. It's a snippet. It's going to be one, but it's like you're doing the work of a whole album release. But you have to do that one song at a time?
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck that song.
Yeah.
Like, by the end of it, I'd be like, fuck that song. I'm sick of that snippet. Like, are you teasing me with all you're releasing is one song? And you're teasing it like this one song is going to... Is it Eleanor Rigby, really?
Right, sure.
Like, no.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? It's not gonna pivot. It's not gonna pivot like rock as we know it. But like, you got to go to town on each little song like that, or like I'm releasing my album EP, like it's EP'd out, like just like snippet by snippet until like, and then I don't know, a year later you can compile your own album.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
I'm like, so I'll be like, I don't know if I don't know if I'm down with that even. If I was starting out, I'd still be looking for that same thing, but that same thing might not reside in music anymore.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, I loved looking at, what rock and roll used to get you.
Yeah.
You see your bands and you're like, wow, that's a cool life they're leading.
Yeah.
That looks like a pretty cool life they're leading. I want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wonder nowadays if the kids are like, does it look like a cool life they're leading?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I don't know.
You'll get a song, right? Like you were saying, they'll release it slow, It finally comes out. You look at it, and then you find out the album, if there is even going to be an album, isn't available until like August, and this song came out in January.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's such a weird way that music happens now. You know,
Yeah.
used to be like a lead single and then an album, and then you release singles off the album. Now it's like you said, 10 singles. You can make it an album if you want. You know, it's like so. It's very, very different.
It's real different. So I'm just keeping my blinders on.
Right
I'm
on.
keeping my blinders on and just rock and roll and,
Oh, yeah.
living in the rock and roll fantasy of like my era. What gets me off?
Yeah,
What turns me on? Like just focus on that and
yeah,
be inspired by that whole thing. Even though it's wild. It's just wild how you gotta this is where it's at.
yeah,
It's where it's at.
yeah. So how did the given that mindset, right? How did the Pledge Music album All Right? How did that come about? Because that's kind of a self-driven thing, right?
Well, no. Again, that's the Omnivore Records. So thank
Oh,
God.
okay. So the label put it out on
Yeah.
Pledge. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I picked that up too. I mean, I was like, oh, Jeffrey Gaines has a new album, and you can pledge to it. So I went ahead and did that, and yeah.
Yeah, and again, certainly, absolutely against that thing, but
Yeah.
you know,
Right on.
they put a camera in my face and said, "Hey, say a thing," and I'm like, "I'll say a thing," but I mean, I don't know what's really going on here, but yep, whatever I've been briefed to say.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I forgot all about the Pledge music video. I might have. Yeah, I don't do any of these fine prints and read the stuff.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of against that stuff, but I thought they had their. I figured they handled it.
Yeah.
And,
For sure.
so, but again, they're taking care of the studio and the musicians and everybody. If I figure,
Yeah.
if they come back the next day, then their terms have been met.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, look, I mean, I'm not paying you.
Yeah.
But like, if you came back tomorrow, then you got what you said you needed to do it.
Right.
And it was a cool, casual situation. It's out in California.
Mm-hmm.
All the musicians I used on that are from California. So Chris Price produced that. He's an awesome guy, very very prolific songwriter himself.
Yeah.
So he likes just being in the studio and tinkering around. Pete Thomas from the Attractions, because of that, that Riot Act thing, and me go way back. So,
Yeah.
I've been listening to, since the 70s, end of the 70s, I've been listening to Elvis Costello and
Sure.
stuff like that. So having Pete, but again, there's a casual setup,
Yeah.
like where I see it noonish, and we'll cut you loose by 6:00, 5:30,
Right. Right.
So they could just live their lives, man. Wake up, have your coffee,
Yeah.
kiss your baby on the head, walk the dog, get the paper, whatever you do, and then just come on over, through the afternoons, record some stuff, and then get back to your life.
Yeah.
So it was more just like keeping their chops. Or, the group. They got a little side group, Pete. They got a little side group called Jack Shit, and so it's Davey Farragher and Val McCallum, and they like playing together all the time. They're always at this place out in LA called the Baked Potato, just rocking and rolling.
Nice.
Old school. So it's just fun for them to keep their chops wet in between shows and record my record real quick.
Right on. Right on.
So that's those kind of things are very casual and easy, but all my albums will sound a little different based on the musicianship. So whoever you select, it's easier for me to lean into their collective. So if they already have kind of a groove going, the record will, instead of me telling them to change who they are, I'll allow the music to lean a little more into where they're at.
Right on.
So the first one is Lonnie Hillier and Tony James, funky guys from a group called Maggie's Dream.
Yeah.
So the thing kind of lends itself to, the intro to the song, Why?
Mm-hmm.
Was just, that drum part is like Tony James just warming up. And then me saying, damn, do that warm-up thing again.
Yeah.
Do that thing you do just to limber up. He's like, what do you mean this? I'm like, hell yeah, that. Keep doing it. And then I just go, let me layer my song into it. And then like his drum warm up becomes the drum track for my song Why.
That's awesome.
And that, so it wouldn't have sounded that way. That song, I didn't like, I'm not dreaming that up and like the song will go this way.
Yeah.
So the song, all my songs are like, it's available based on who I'm playing with. And I'll just lean my song into their groove.
Okay.
And like, that's how that song sounds because that's how he plays.
Yeah. Right on.
And unfortunately, sometimes people get caught up in that being my sound. So then the next group sounds a different way when they play. So it's not so much I'm changing as much as the changing in personnel. And people are like, where's that Jeffrey Gaines sound? It's like, that, don't call it mine.
Yeah.
I want you to hear the songs I'm writing, the sentiment there. I'm there. Like if you're just listening to me, I'm always there.
Yeah.
But like who I'm playing with will lean it. So Jack Shit, for instance, kind of they wear these cowboy shirts. And,
sure.
You know, they lean sort of into that California sort of Western wear sound or whatever. So there's some stuff that leans a little that way because that's what they play well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're like, wow, cool, let's go there because I'm interested in all music. Or, you know, you got, I borrowed, you got the Galore Records, David Bowie's touring band for like that 97 tour.
Man.
Nice. Like Gail Ann Dorsey and Zach Alford and Reeves Gabrels. Those guys just got off the road with Bowie. And it just so happens that they all sort of were living in Woodstock at the time I'm recording. And I'm like, awesome. You guys are still hot from the road.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be cool, you know, since I was going to see all these Bowie shows anyway, and I saw that tour, nice. And, you know, I got to meet Bowie on that tour, you know, by way of Reeves. And, you know, you're just like, it's already connected. You guys already have, what do you call that? Like, you guys got this, like
chemistry?
This non-verbal, chemistry, the non-verbal, you know, communication, little sign language, this musical sign language. They know each other's. I can tell when he raises his eyebrow where we're going next. You know, They got this language, these audibles. You know, they're just calling it on the fly, and it's just cool financially in a way because you want to kind of get it quick.
Yeah.
It's great, you know, and you know, for the music to have like that energy and stuff. If you got people we're already gelling. You don't have to waste any days or time getting the chemistry. So it's like, it's easy for me to just jump on into them.
Right on, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm more fluid. I'm very fluid and very flexible. Yeah. So, you know.
And I mean, that's kind of a gift, you know, to be able to carry your voice into something and it's always distinctly you, even if the music changes a little bit, you know. And that's awesome.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
That's the hope. But that's the hard thing. That's the hope. But that only proves itself at the end.
Right.
You know? So when you make that thing happen on their second record, people are just scared and shocked. But I'm like, hang on, you got to hang on and have the long view.
Yeah.
When you get back and look back at all of them, you'll be able to hear that, you know, whatever that message is, the message is throughout.
Right.
You know, so it just takes a minute for people to adjust to, now we're all listening in retro listen, and you can hear it clearer now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, having the other records to prove it up against, you know, you can hear it easier now.
It's coming out, you're kind of like, whoa, this is different. But then you put it all together and it's like, okay.
Right. Yeah. And that keeps the adventure going also for me, you know.
Sure.
So it is a skill set. And so you want to be able to flex your skill set too. You don't want to just be like, I'm doing the same thing all the time.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, man.
If you get an opportunity to expand your universe, expand.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, it's like.
I mean, the Beatles didn't make the same record over and over again, you know.
Oh no.
It's a different sound every time, you know.
Yeah.
So
Zeppelin is really
that. Jeez.
You're like, what the hell are these Zeppelin records all together? Until you stretch them all out, and it's like, now you have everything we are.
Yeah.
You know, you get the opportunity to have all that we have to say. It's beautiful.
And it's amazing, you know, speaking of Zeppelin, just the fact that those guys, the arrangements, you know, and that they could play so many different kinds of things. And like, they could do this Guitar Hero stuff, and then they could do like slow acoustic things and quiet stuff and bombastic
Yeah,
stuff. Like, yeah,
yeah.
Zeppelin was nuts, man.
I mean, I wasn't there, and I've never read this, so it's not true.
Yeah,
But my feeling is, they recorded. Bonham left early.
yeah, yeah.
Robert Plant followed him.
Right.
Jimmy Page worked as long as he thought he could.
Yeah.
And I think John Paul Jones tinkered all fucking night long.
I mean,
And then Jimmy Page came in the morning and assembled it. But
nice.
without those John Paul Jones all night longs while everybody left, I think there's so much that John Paul Jones is responsible for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he tinkered all through the night and like left it all there for the morning. And then Jimmy Page put up the faders and was like, "Shit, we did a lot yesterday."
Right.
Like,
Hey.
well,
Really? Yeah.
yeah, he did a lot yesterday, but John Paul Jones fucking tidied up after all of it,
Yeah.
all night. Yeah, that's the mofo in that group.
Right on. Yeah, I mean John Paul Jones, just look at some of the stuff he did after, like some of the soundtrack stuff, and he obviously had has, an interesting mind for putting things together for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of good work in there, man.
Yeah. So, looking at what's happening now, you are busy in the spring and summer. I mean, just playing around Pennsylvania and New Jersey and that area.
Yeah,
it's
a good life. It's a good life, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a good life. Yeah, I'm not like hardcore. I always tell you get the booking agents stuff, people working.
Yeah.
And I think from the '90s, from the early '90s, I was just like, look at some of this routing. Back in the day, the routing was so weird because the label was always chasing radio play.
Sure.
And so I just thought, like, yo, if you survive this many fucking flights,
right.
Like the one thing I want to do if I survive this is don't fly me around like Parcel.
Yeah.
Like, don't fly me around like somebody's Amazon account. Like, you know what? Sometimes you just feel like, yo, we don't need to get there all of the damn time just to like satisfy. Because it'd be like, oh, you're getting radio spins in Honolulu.
They're like,
this week you got to go to. Oh, guess what? And you're leaving Honolulu to come back to Ames, Iowa. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then Ames, Iowa to Michigan. I'm like, just hang on. It's like, just could somebody put this together?
Right. Make this make sense,
Could the tour go across the country, down the country, back across the bottom of the country? Could we do something like that? I'll do it myself in a car. I'll do 4 hours. I'll do 4 hours every day comfortably. Get kicked out of a hotel at noon or 11,
right?
And then drive on down to a sound check. So 5 hours in the car. I'll cross the country.
Yeah.
If it's connected. I don't mind doing it, but like, we can't be zigzagging around.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it can't be nuts. So it's a good life now, man. Look, like you said, I play around where I live.
Yeah.
And drive a lot of these. I'll drive to and drive back home. Drive back home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you get to have the rock and roll, you get to have all the things together. You get to get your life. But I mean, look, at the same time, if it got nuts. Meaning, I'll go ahead and get nuts when I have a record out.
Sure.
Because I do, you do for those hard 6 months want to get it in the hands of as many people and see as many, but it starts to filter out. And then you'd be like, well, I think, it's a fine campaign,
Right.
It's a fine campaign. We went to Europe, we went to Canada, we went to, the continental U.S., I don't know. Anybody else? Anyone else? And after that, you're like, okay, now let's just, mellow it back out. See how they feel about this one.
Right.
Let them digest it. And, if the strong points seem to be on the Northeast, well, then, hey, keep me on the Northeast then.
Right. Yeah.
I don't mind as long as we're playing and people are going home satisfied. That's what it's about.
Right on, man. Yeah. I mean, so I don't really, so I talked to Diane, who was the one who set this whole thing up, about the dates, and she wanted me to definitely the State Theater at State College, Pennsylvania, I guess
Great
that's a
place.
big one you've got coming up.
It's a great place, is
Yeah.
what it is, man. It's like College Town. It's a huge movie theater.
Oh,
But
nuts.
like within the movie theater, they got like another little room all set up just like a like if you were making a film,
Oh,
you
wow.
know, and you're just while you're looking at the rushes after, it's like the little kind of like previewing room.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like it's a massive movie theater, like massive movie theater. But then they also have like a really tight, awesome little like student previewing room. So my
Okay.
shows are in there, and it's like everybody's got a perfect seat. It's very conversational, very communicative between me,
Nice.
audience, and performer. It strips down all facade. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
ain't no smoke machine. Ain't no. It's like it'd be like cool. Like it's like almost like the same. It's like the same kind of energy, like as somebody would do stand up in.
Sure, sure,
You know,
sure.
before they're Jerry Seinfeld. I don't mean like what I mean, or
Yeah, yeah.
before they're like that size place. But like it's just like you can hear the crowd as we're working together.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
which is great for what I do because we're really kind of doing that like VH1 Unplugged kind of vibe. We can talk about the songs.
Right.
You can ask me questions about the thing, and then we can go into it like very step by step. It's very cool.
Yeah, dude, honestly, like, so the State Theater in Ithaca, that's exactly the same thing. Like, that's the setup that I saw you in.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
yeah, yeah. So I know exactly the experience, like, even though I saw it 30 years ago. So
Yeah.
that's cool, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, I mean, we've been talking now for about an hour, and that was more than I hoped for. So,
All right.
man,
All right.
thank you so much, Jeffrey. If there's anything you specifically want to talk about, I know it's not really your lane per se, but if there's anything you want to let people know where they can find you, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean you got it. You got
Yeah.
it. All those socials are everybody's welcome all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah, JeffreyGaines.com. So I go see where I'm playing on the the website. Jeffrey G Music for Instagram and everything else. It's all wide open.
Right.
So you don't have to request to be my friend. You're already my friend. I got all the on Facebook. It's like everybody gets all of me.
Right on, man. Right.
Yeah. No VIP here, man. Where everybody gets the same treatment. It's all good.
Yeah, well, dude, I can't even tell you how much fun this has been for me. If you get a chance to watch the video, literally smiling the whole entire time. So, dude, this has been so cool, man. Thank you so much for giving me
Thanks
the
for
time.
what you're doing. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. I appreciate it.
I'll see you down the road, man.
All right, take care, brother. Thank you.
You're good. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Yeah, so that was Jeffrey Gaines, man, and wow, what a great conversation. I want to thank Nate Walden, who's helping me out with production on these shows. Don't forget to go check Jeffrey out on the road. I want to thank Diane Dragonet, Jeffrey's management, for setting this whole thing up. And again, thank you to everyone who checks out the show each and every week. Man, this was so fun. We'll be back next week with more Most Excellent Entertainment.